Hey guys, what is up? My name is Megan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new, and welcome to today's video, which is a really fun one for me because it's kind of like bringing back the OG booktube days in my case. When I first started booktube, I had this series called Book Review Tuesdays where I would review books that were either underhyped, overhyped, or that I just thought you should read or not read. And I kind of want to bring this back this year by talking about some of my favorite books, or just books in general, because I haven't really been doing wrap-ups. And the first book I want to talk about was actually my favorite book of 2022, and I don't think I vlogged or have any content revolving around this book, which is why it needs its own video. And this book is Our Way Back to Always by Nina Moreno. It is a very shiny cover, so let me try to show you what it looks like because it's absolutely stunning. This is a young adult novel that reads more like an NA novel, so like a new adult. It is by Nina Moreno, who wrote Don't Eat Rosa Santos, which I also really enjoyed, but this is like an ultimate favorite book ever. It is in the same category for me as Listen to Your Heart by Casey West, which is saying a lot if you've been on my channel before. This book is around 350 pages, so it's a very quick read, and it is also written in dual perspective. We follow both Lou and Sam, and basically this is a child friends to not being friends to lovers, and it is a really beautiful story that tackles a lot of different topics, which is really why I think this book shines. Essentially, the plot of this story is that we follow both Lou and Sam, who, as I mentioned before, were really good friends growing up. They were best friends, they did everything together, but then some conflict arose and they are no longer friends and no longer speaking. Now, it is their last year, they are seniors in high school, and both of them are grappling with a lot of responsibility. For Lou, basically, her sister was supposed to go to this big college. She was very smart. She was doing very well for herself, intellectually speaking. However, she got pregnant and had to put those dreams aside. And so Lou feels a lot of pressure to kind of carry that family legacy and get good grades and go into school, where it's not really something that she felt she wanted to do before, but due to her sister's circumstances, she feels a lot of pressure. And Sam actually lost his father and has taken on this kind of role as a provider to help his family, so he's been working a lot, physical work, and he is thinking about putting college on the back burner to be able to help support his family. This also has characters that are not white. Nina Moreno is of Latino descent, and her characters are as well, and so there's that element that comes into play as well. So the story really unravels when Lou finds a bucket list that she had made with Sam before, I think on their freshman year of high school when they were still friends, of things they wanted to do. This kind of big bucket list of all the items that they wanted to do before they finished their senior year. And because of all the stress and everything, Lou is like, you know what, I'm going to finish this. This is going to be like what keeps me sane. And Sam sees her with this list and he's like, you know what, I want to take part in that list as well. And that's kind of like how they rekindle their friendship, and then the story unravels from there, and you get to see them interact and essentially fall in love, but they also learn about each other and all the bits and pieces of their lives that they've been missing, and they kind of reminisce on their childhood as well. So overall, the plotline itself is absolutely fantastic. It's a lot of fun because you get to see two people who are juggling with real adult responsibilities also kind of take back their youth. But what I think was really done well in here is the depiction of grief. It is something I look for in my books because where I'm at in my life, it is very important to me, and I think that she really hit the nail straight on when it comes to talking about grief. Obviously, trigger warnings for death of a loved one, but I think the exploration of grief and how it affects us all differently, and how we cope with grief and how we want people to respond to that, is really well explored. And I think it is something that is also like important in the dynamic of their friendship, because Lou also grew up with Sam. She kind of grew up with Sam's dad being around, and so it's a loss for her as well. And it's also kind of her navigating that loss, and also navigating the idea that she wants to support Sam and all of those things and how it plays out. There's also the discussion of choosing to do your future for yourself and not for anyone else that I really appreciated. As someone who really struggled with kind of figuring out what I want to do with my life, and am I doing it for myself or am I doing it for my loved ones, I think it's a discussion that really needs to be put out there, because this is reaching the target audience of people who are going through those life changes. And I think that it was done well in the sense of Sam wishing he could go to college, but also being like, I need to take this adult responsibility and care for my family, where it should really be the opposite way around, that Sam should not have to worry about caring for his family because he is only a teenager. And then we also have Lou, who is struggling with all those familial dynamics of living up to those parental expectations and then questioning what you're going to do with your life, because is it really what you want to do? Are you really going to go get a degree in something that you don't care for just to kind of appease your parents? And I think all those conversations were really well handled, and it's especially important for people who are not white, because I feel like the expectations of going to college and the significance of being able to get into college is 10 times more grand than it is for a person who has the privilege of being white. And I just think that the financial difficulties in here were also really well spoken about. I just think that overall this is an extremely relatable book, and it talks about a lot of different topics, all the while being really fun, and it gave me butterflies. Obviously this is not an adult novel, so it doesn't have like full-on steam, but the chemistry between these characters and the love they have for each other and the baggage they have from being like from having grown up together and then being apart and then being together again adds kind of like that extra angst to this novel. And I just think it was so well balanced. Like, I have a hard time describing how exactly I love this book, because it means so much to me. And I read this, keep in mind, I read this when I was 25 years old, so it really does apply to anyone and everyone. And if you are like me and you still enjoy the occasional YA book as like a full-on adult, I really think this is one that deserves all the hype, because it is incredibly well crafted. It has all the summer vibes, so if you're like me and struggling from like winter depression and all the snow, like I read this in the thick of, I think, December last year, and I was like, this is exactly what I need, because it has all the fun magic of being a teen in the summertime balanced with all those realities that is the transitional age between being a teen with no responsibilities to being an adult. And sometimes that comes extremely quickly, and too quickly for some. And I just think that this book is marvelous. The writing, amazing. I love the fact that it was dual perspective, because we got to see so much more of the characters and see what they felt for each other and the perspective they had on each other. So much, like, it was so well done. And I just think that the reasons for their friendship kind of falling apart made sense for people their age, and I just liked this book so much. And the idea of the bucket list and them actually going through the bucket list is also so fun. So overall, this is for me an all-time favorite, even at my age, even when I've read so many books. This is a remarkable book. It really stands out to me, and I highly, highly recommend you guys check it out if you have not. I also recommend Don't Date Rosa Santos if you want to give that one a go. But this is my baby. I love it so much. The cover is stunning, and it is always great to see that representation as well in books. So that was my quick review and thoughts for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed and that it was somewhat helpful. Let me know if you're interested in this book. And yeah, it was just so fun to be able to gush about it. So I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye guys, happy reading.